That lick would probably sound a lot better if I tuned up. So let's talk about tuning today. Talk about tuning the guitar with an electronic tuner. Now, I like to use an electronic tuner mainly because in my years of playing, I have found that when you don't use one, especially when you play with other instruments, then sometimes you can't get all the instruments to agree, and you can hear that in the music. I used to be in a band a long time ago, and we didn't have electronic tuners because they didn't exist. So we would tune up by ear, and there was a lot of gigs that we played and the band was not in tune, and so your ear can kind of, you know, not necessarily be accurate all the time. So I think it's a good idea to use an electronic tuner, and I insist that all my students use an electronic tuner because, for one thing, it helps you to develop a good ear. When you hear your guitar perfectly tuned all the time, you're going to play better and you're going to learn to hear the music with a whole lot more accuracy. The first thing you need to do is get your hands on a good quality tuner. Don't buy the cheapest tuner out there. You don't have to buy the most expensive one, but you want to buy something that is of good quality so that you can assure that it's going to accurately tune your instrument. You also need to stretch out your strings. On any instrument with metal strings, or even especially with classical guitars are the worst for this, you need to stretch your strings out to make sure that once you do get them in tune, that they're going to stay there and not fluctuate while you're playing. The term tune up indicates that you should tune up to pitch. It's always a good idea, if you're not sure about whether your guitar is in tune, tune your string down a little bit so you know it's a little bit loose. You know it's not too tight, because you know what happens if you over tighten the strings can break. So we're going to be tuning to standard tuning, which is E, A, D, G, B, E, and we're going to talk about getting the guitar in tune and, you know, getting it real accurate, so our playing is going to be a whole lot better and it's going to sound a whole lot better. First, as I said, stretch the strings out. Make sure every string is stretched out a little bit. You do that by, you just simply tug on each string a little bit as you're tuning up, especially with new strings, because new strings really need to be stretched. Now these have been on here a little while, so we are good at stretching these. We're going to start with an E note and tune up to E. It's below. Now you need to use a chromatic tuner, because a chromatic tuner is going to give you the note that you have, even if the note is wrong. So my tuner is telling me that I've got a D sharp and I need to go up to E. So I'm going to tune up to pitch until my tuner indicates the note E. And I don't know if you can see those, but this will give you a good idea anyway. We're going to tune up to pitch. When I get up to the green, I have a plug-in electronic tuner here, and I also have a standalone tuner that you can use for acoustic or electric guitar. When I get to the right note, I'm expecting to see green. Now I'm seeing green on both tuners. If I see any red at all, I'd like for it to be on the high side or the sharp side of the note, not the flat side. Just slightly sharp is going to sound better than flat. Okay, I've got green on both of them now. Okay, so that's our E note. Now the next note is going to be A, and it's a little bit flat. We're going to tighten that up. Both of them are indicating green now. That's A. Now we're going to go to D. Now you want to let your note sustain. Let it sustain and do your adjustments. Okay? In other words, don't strike the string like this. It tends to make the needle or the indicator jump around. So repeated strikes are going to cause spikes. So what you want to do is strike the string, let it sustain, let it stabilize, and as soon as you see where it is, then make an adjustment as that note sustains. Okay, we've got a D note. Now we're going to go to the G note. G is a little bit sharp, so what we're going to do is go back down, stretch the string out, pull on the string a little bit, okay, and we're going to tune up to G. All right. I think we're just a slight bit sharp there. Alright, green on both. Okay, so we're going to go to B now, the B string. B is slightly sharp, so we're going to go back down. Alright, B. Alright, next, E, high E. Too high, come down, below the note a little bit, go back up, we now have tuned guitar. Now here's a trick that I use for making sure my guitar is accurate all the way up the neck. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check all the C notes on the guitar. I'm going to go to C at the first fret on the B string and check it. Since this is a chromatic tuner, I can get any note I want, so I'm going to play a C. C. A little bit off, so I'm going to come down a little bit. Gotta come down below it. C. Now let's go back to the B and see if we still have a B note. Still have a B. Okay. Now we're going to go to C at the third fret on the A string. That's pretty good, so we're going to leave that alone. Going to go to C at the fifth fret on the G string. One tuner says it's accurate. The other was showing slightly sharp, so we're going to leave that one alone. We're going to go up to C at the 8th fret on the E string. That's pretty accurate. Okay, we're going to go to C on the high E string. Now we're showing a little red on either side of it, but as when we're checking these C's, as long as we've got green, we're in good shape. Okay, we're going to go up to C at the 13th fret on the B string. And we've got green on that one, so we're in good shape. So the chords are going to sound good. And the soloing is going to sound good. We're all tuned up and ready to play.